How do? Come on in, lad. How do? So, a question from a subscriber, young prison officer. If you punch a prisoner on camera, would you go to prison? Firstly, there is what they call a preemptive strike. If you find yourself maybe in a one-to-one situation with somebody, you fear for your safety or other people's, written into the procedures, prison service orders, prison service instructions, is a preemptive strike. So on camera, if you're seen punching a prisoner, you know, you sort of stood toe to toe, whatever, there's no audio, so you have to justify your actions. Now, I did work with a prison officer, loosely speaking. I knew him well. He weren't a bad lad. He worked in the segregation unit. Far too long, segregation, solitary, not good for prisoners, not a good place for staff. It used to be 2 years or something similar working in an area like that. I worked with people in a segregation who turned into animals, to be honest. You know, the behaviour towards other people was disgusting. Anyway, this lad, he'd asked for a move. He was on nights. He got a prisoner who was beyond challenging. At the end of his week of nights, as the relief come on, morning relief, the guy who's taking him off, he said he needs to go to this lad's cell. He got a noose, he needed to take it off him. The other lad went to the cell with him. The other lad had keys. The night man didn't have keys, although you have an emergency cell key in a pouch. As the other lad opened the door, he punched him just once. I'm not justifying that. The other lad was shocked. He apologised to him. It was on camera. People saw that video. Nothing was said. Somebody saw that video and spoke to the prisoner and started a investigation. The lad admitted straight away he'd punched the prisoner. He held his hands up. Not the prisoner. The prison moved forward to the Crown Prosecution Service, and that lad ended up serving time. He lost his job and he got about 18 months to serve. Yeah. There was some mitigation, but bang to rights, and he held his hand up. He didn't deny it. It led to the investigation, which was seedy, to say the least. The lad who let him into the cell was outcast by the rest of the staff. People got 5-year warnings and the like. But some of them people who got the 5-year warning still got promotion whilst on a final warning, 5-year final warning. So, Stevie, I don't know what you're eating. Come on, lad. So have I been in a situation like that? Yes, I was. I was involved in an incident. It was spontaneous CNR. We were in the healthcare, some lads from the segregation unit, with a lad who had become troublesome, who'd been drinking hooch. He was on the healthcare because he'd been ill, been sick, passed out. Hooch is dangerous in prison. The shift manager there was the Oscar 1. Yeah, Oscar 1, shift manager, not a governor. They're in uniform, like we were. And the Oscar 1 was a good lad. He asked whether we wanted to get kitted up in full gear or just deal with it then, spontaneous. We went in the cell. The lad put up a good fight. When I say fight, struggle, kicking, we got him in cuffs. And then it was quite a violent restraint. It took, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes to move him from the healthcare to the segregation unit, which weren't a long way. You could have walked it in 30 seconds. It was kicking out, spitting, trying to headbutt people and the like. We ended up carrying him. During that incident, the Oscar 1, when the prisoner was on the floor and he was trying to de-escalate, talk to him, he knew him, he side tapped him in the head. We then took the prisoner to the seg, and managers saw that tap to the head, deemed it was a kick, didn't like the Oscar 1, and went straight upstairs to see a governor and report the Oscar 1 for serious assault. Once in the segregation unit, we took him in a strip cell, which is just that, nothing in it. For the most disruptive, you have to have permission to put people in that cell. It was in there in order to be strip searched. You leave people clothes in there, cooling off period, and they're under observation while they're in there as well. Whilst he was in the prone position, that's laying face down on the floor, hands behind his back in cuffs, my senior officer punched him in the face. Yeah, that's prisoner in cuffs punched in the face. Made a mess of his nose, there was blood. When you leave someone in a strip cell or after any restraint in any cell, segregation, wherever, nursing staff should be present. If the prisoner is calm, they may go in the cell with staff and talk to him, make sure they're all right, no injuries. In this situation, the manager now had come back downstairs and was at the cell door with a nurse. They saw the blood on the face, looked at us, and that was it. They went off shift. There was an investigation. We all got suspended. The Oscar 1 got suspended. Month-long investigation. My manager accused me of the assault. The other lads said they didn't see anything. I, in my paperwork, put down that he had assaulted him. After a month, I was cleared. The Oscar 1 and the other lads were found guilty. The other lads all changed their statements. When you see paperwork from an investigation, this is incriminating. It was almost embarrassing. The lads at first didn't see anything and then changed their statements multiple times. I think there was something like 26 hours of taped interviews. 23 people were interviewed, including nursing staff. But I was cleared, so I was happy. I didn't return to work. The company then did their own investigation. I was found guilty of assault. I ended up in front of the #1 governor. I cleared myself again. I just stopped then and pondered how ridiculous it was. So that was double jeopardy. I was cleared and then I was charged and then I was cleared again. I ended up sat with the #1 governor. Opposite me was my manager who punched a prisoner and his union representative. My manager never admitted it. He did get sacked. If he had admitted it there and then, he might well have faced police charges. The governor might well have pursued it. So he never admitted that. And to this day, some 20 years later, he's still bitter and twisted about that incident. It's a tough gig being a prison officer. You know, I've just been to college. I give a talk. I'm going to put that video up Saturday to young people who are considering becoming prison officers, working in prisons. Yeah, tough gig. I'm going to leave it there. Stephen, parting shot as always. Stevie, hope you have the best weekend possible, guys. It's been a mad, crazy month. I'm wanting to get back to interviewing. There are people to interview, just been difficult to manage my time. But yeah, go. There's a good lad. Again, guys, thanks for all your support. Again, hope you have the best weekend possible. Thanks for coming, Al City.